Hello, my name is MrSpaml, and today it is the time. You've been asking for it. Boy has been begging me for it. So today we're gonna finally explain the last minute. We're gonna go in detail how everything. Yeah, I know it's a shock, Brad. We're gonna explain everything, why we did every little bit, because we planned the whole thing out quite meticulously. Oh wow, I said that word wrong probably. And if you're not already subscribed, and if you haven't seen the last minute, go check it out down below. And also while you're down there, just hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. It's like 2 milliseconds out your day, especially if you're a real fast gamer boy. And let's go ahead and get started. So when we were coming up with the idea for the last minute, we got some inspiration from some series and stuff. We mashed them all together, and the whole idea of it is that it's the last minute of this guy's life. It's basically all flashing before his eyes. And in the intro that says introducing with that cheeky tracked in text and the color grade, actually is a real quick example of a color grade for people who don't know what it is. Right now I've got the set color graded to be all beautiful. If you're wondering why the blue and the red is so vibrant, take off the color grade, bring back the color grade, and boom, it's all beautiful. So that's what a color grade is, isn't it, brother boy? But yeah, you hear the plane in the background because he's a pilot. Well, he's not a pilot, his friend is the pilot, and he's going in, and it's his last minute. You hear it actually hit the ground, you have the camera shake, you have the color grade. All connects together, and that exact same sound effect plays later on. From this shot, we transition to a guy waking up. This is the earliest memory in the video that he is remembering. Obviously, we couldn't go too far back because it begins to be cringe if you're going like, I don't know, a really small kid. So, so it's his more recent life, but it's the important stuff to him. Seems like an almost average day.
Come on, wake up. Time for your second.
When I'm actually waking up in the video, there is plane ambience. I mean, this is something very little people are even going to pick up on, but it's the sound that you get inside a plane because of the pressure. I liked it, and there's also some weird distortions with what's going on. Everything's blurry, okay, which sort of shows how it's an earlier memory. Right now we're going into very ridiculous points, but we did actually think about this stuff. I know that's a bit hard to believe, it's an Unturned movie, but we really planned it out. We probably put a little bit too much effort into this one, not gonna lie to you.
We even made a script for it, which we never normally do.
Yes, so we never script anything, but we had this planned out to how we're going to connect everything. And as I walk past the little fence, you'll see it's 2007. That's just to show the time period. We jump many years, sometimes like 2 or 3 at a time, I believe. But, it just shows that it's earlier on. It's in the past. And inside the shop, there is a pilot's hat. This pilot's hat is then it's a confused memory because his friend is wearing the pilot's hat, and you'll see different bits of other memories and other moments jump into other memories. It's very weird, to be honest. It's like basically because it's the last minute, everything's a bit of a mess and it's all a bit jumbled up. You hear a quote unquote car alarm, which is actually a plane alarm, which I just ripped from a YouTube video. That was one weird sounding car alarm. So yeah, that's the plane alarm going down in the crash. You hear the same sound effect in the actual crash at the end of the video. Then when my character picks up the coffee a little bit just after this, we have a little time jump. I added some camera shake, a little bit of chromatic aberration, a little red color grade to be like the alarm. I did add some VR glow as well. That's why it's all red and glowy. Looks cool. It's meant to be like you're inside the plane going down. I could have probably added some fire now I think about it. That probably would have made it a bit more obvious. Huh.
But you don't want it to be obvious. The whole point is a mystery.
Yeah, I did kind of like the mystery. I wasn't even going to explain it, not going to lie. I mean, I was going to explain it, but I was considering not explaining it because it kind of takes away from the video explaining it. But
if you haven't seen the video, go watch it before you watch this. That's what we're saying. Pretty much.
Yes.
It's worth it.
But yes, you've got the camera shake, the chromatic aberration, and the very same sound effect that plays, I believe, 3 times throughout the video with the We're Going Down that Brad recorded. Yeah, Brad actually even messed that line up when we were recording it.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a bit weird to scream into your microphone.
We're going down.
House.
Yes,
yeah.
So I had to edit it and, give it some auditorium echo, which is, it's just a Premiere preset over to the side. Very nice. Come on, no, we're going in detail, better boy. This is what you all asked for. Very
Yes.
simple, very easy to edit, that sort of thing, like with the we're going down, apart from, add some suspense to the video. When I turn around, it reveals that it's 2009, just a little bit of After Effects tracking on the text, so when I walk forward, the text stays in the same place. That is, you don't need to do that, I didn't need to do that, but it looks cool, and I just learned to use After Effects.
Yeah.
So
He just learned how to do it, that's why all the dates are tracked
Yes.
onto something.
Yes,
So they're not actually in the game. Surprise, surprise. They edit it on.
I think people know they're edited on. But yes, I walk forward. I even had to simulate a little bit of the weird way Unturned distorts. Like the text has to get bigger. Like this is something Brad didn't even know I did probably, but the text gets much bigger the closer it is to the camera because of the way Unturned makes everything look weird. It was very weird, to be honest, but it looks very cool and really adds to the video. And like instead of putting text in front of the screen, the fact that it's in the actual video, I feel like it kind of adds to it. So yeah, it's 2009. He says it's New Year. Okay, obviously this is probably the easiest time jump because it's just New Year. It's literally not even really time jumping in this case, but it shows how we're skipping through the time. When I get in the car with Brad, the nice little red car, the Mustang, I think it is. Whatever Brad spawned in, whatever it was. Yeah. But yeah, so I get in the car and Brad says, I can't believe it's nearly 2010 already, linking to the fact that everything is flashing by. I then say, it feels like it just flashed by.
Can't believe it's almost 2010 already.
Yeah, I know, right? Felt like it just flashed by. Referencing the fact that it's my memories flashing by. If anyone picked that up, I am shocked. I mean, now everyone's going to say they picked all this up and like I knew it and stuff, but yeah, we really thought about that, and that wasn't in the script. I made that up on the spot, but very nice.
And another cool, fun little fact, if you look to the left of the car as the car drives out, there's the white truck, and that truck is played on later in the story.
Yes, that truck drives past the plane crash site right at the end of the video. These things, we really went in detail. Also, I drive a truck as part of my job, so even then, like, everything's messing up, like the memories are mixing together. We really thought this out, Brad. We went overkill. When we're walking up the hill to go watch the actual fireworks, I actually get a little bit confused why we're here again, also referencing the way that everything is a bit of a mess. When we sit down, these chairs are not only on the plane and at the crash site, they also match our clothes, which is just, a little bit satisfaction right there, and it shows how the characters are there. Also, every little item that pops up reoccurringly is in the plane crash, and that's just a cool way, because if you're trying to remember a memory real quick, you're going to add together things that are around you, because that's just how human brains work. They're a bit odd.
So now New Year's coming up, we have the fire in front of us. That is seen in hallucinations later on in the story, which is pretty epic. And then the fireworks go up, we say Happy New Year, and the noise of the fireworks aren't actually fireworks. Those are the noise that were played in the beginning when the plane crashed, and at the end when the plane crashed, that's the actual plane crash noise. Also, the text was tracked onto the stars because Spaml is just OP when it comes to tracking.
I mean, they're basically tracking dots, come on.
I know, but like, you know. And then my favorite transition of the whole movie pretty much is as you staring up at the sky, it fades to you staring up at the sky in the next year. When we're in the apartment again, looking out the window, it's just cinematic. And then from there, a lot more crazy things start to happen.
In this scene, we have Brad, and he tells us that he wants to become a pilot. Well, he was thinking of becoming a pilot. There's the little water bottle, which was seen not only on the cooler box, but also in the crash site itself. We've got Brad there wearing his orange shirt again, because obviously, realistically, you're not going to wear the same shirt that many years in a row, so it's also messing up the memories. But, I mean, we're getting into some ridiculous territory now. This is where the video really starts to increase. I'm talking to Brad about how he wants to become a pilot, but then I go over, in the background you can see it, even when Brad says it, there's a pilot shirt. I go over to it, I see the pilot shirt, I look behind me, Brad's gone. Where is Brad boy gone? I go into my room, and there is luggage, well, clothes, items, everything all over the place, and Brad's there. I'm very confused. It's a silhouette of Brad in his pilot stuff. If you, I don't know, no one's going to do this, but if you import that into a software and boosted the exposure, you can actually see that it's Brad with his little smiley face. But yeah, I just lowered it so you couldn't really see his face. So you got him there. A little bit of chromatic aberration again. just to make it freaky deaky, because that's a very easy way of making it look cool. So you got Brad there in his pilot suit, yet again referencing his memories. I turned around, we paused for a second, got Brad to move out of the way, we blended the shots together, well I blended the shots together, so when I turn around it's like, you know, all of a sudden he's gone, and you know, it's just a little sneaky hidden transition. And then Brad's back to normal, and he said he was looking for a toothbrush, I believe, but yeah, you know, it's just mixing up the memories and adding a little bit more suspense to it. Then because obviously I'm confused, you'd be panicking a bit if something like this happened to you in real life, so I go outside to get some air, I step across the road, and all of a sudden you hear the tires screeching, simple sound effect, the car's there. Brad's actually in the car to show that, you know, I can't remember who hit me. This is me, like my character in the story, as he got hit by a car. That's something traumatic, you'd remember it. It's like, you know, I can remember breaking my leg in real life really well, so I feel like if my life was flashing before my eyes, I'd remember that. I don't know, Brad boy, believe it or not, we've never had our life flash before our eyes, so we're just sort of guessing at this point. I mean, you never know, Brad. It is Africa.
Oh, God.
Some blur, some fade, a little sound, and it transitions to some beeping, which is the heart rate monitor in a hospital. You know, we've jumped a couple years now to 2012. You know, we're there now. I'm in the hospital. I look up. It doesn't make any sense that I'd be in 2012 because I would have recovered from the car crash at this point. And he says you've been in the accident last night. Yet again, you know, everything's messed up. I look over towards the heart rate monitor, and it does a zoom, and the beeping of the heart rate monitor changes to the reversing of a truck, which is also the same truck that was on the side of the road and driving across the bridge in the final shot. Damn. It's now 2015, and as I drive the truck towards the bridge or wherever I'm heading, we see the fireworks coming off, and a whole lot of stuff is about to happen. My character even acts confused about the fireworks, even though by now he's kind of working it out, and you know, he's realizing something's really wrong. As soon as memories from like the quote-unquote real world start to kick in, I use that chromatic aberration to make it clear again, and we have loads of floating items. You know, that was just some build cam and some invisible, whatever they're called, the item holders. So we've got the bottles, we've got the cooler box, we have the campfire in the right corner, and you know, I drive forward. The fireworks are there. I timed a weird sound effect with one of the fireworks as like fire really slowed down. It was very odd, but I quite like it, and then all of a sudden they're muted again. My character steps out the vehicle. It cuts to a shot third person. I'm like, I know what this is. Third person, you know, it's changed. My character, you know, he's figured it out. He knows it. Another one of those transitions with that sound, zooms into my face, and boom, we are in the plane in modern day 2019. So we jump from 2015 to 2019. That's the biggest year jump in the video, I believe. And you know, the plane's going down. We hear all the sound effects, the alarm, the shake. We've got the sky, the fireworks in the background. We've got the truck, all the items in the crash site. And that is the last minute. We have explained it pretty much all. There's all sorts of little objects that link that I haven't brought up because there's so many of the little objects, but we connected the entire thing. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it wasn't disappointing actually understanding it. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I mean, making movies like this takes time, apart from in true MrSpaml fashion. We do it in a day.